Vaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Nandayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarine Hare Krishna. So today we'll see second verse of the last chapter. Arjuna has asked the question, what is renunciation and what is sannyas? So Krishna explains, answers his question. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam
Kamyanam karmanam nyasam
sannyasam kavayo vidu
sannyasam kavayo vidu
sarva karma phala tyagam
sarva karma phala tyagam
prahustyagam vichakshanaha.
prahustyagam vichaksanaha.
So,
Sri Bhagavana uvacha kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo vidu sarva karma phala tyagam prahustyagam vichaksanaha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Palatyaham Prahustyaham Vichakshanaha.
So translation and purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men called renounce order of life, sannyas, and giving up the results of all activities is what wise called renunciation or tyaga. Just 1 minute. Okay. Purport. The performance of activities for results has to be given up. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, but activities leading to advanced spiritual knowledge are not to be given up. This will be made clear in next verses. In Vedic literature, there are many prescriptions for methods of performing sacrifice for some particular purpose. There are certain sacrifices to perform to attain a good son or to attain elevation to higher planets, but sacrifices prompted by desire should be stopped. However, sacrifice for purification of one's heart or for advancement in spiritual science should not be given up. So, simple language, Krishna is giving the answer. What is sannyas? What is tyaga? So, those who have stayed in India or those who are aware of Indian culture, we know sannyasi, right? Because they have different color of dress. And, they dedicate their life completely for the propagation of the spiritual knowledge. So they don't do any other activities. They just work on this transcendental or spiritual activities. So that is sannyasi. And so when they give up everything, that means they are actually not desiring any material things. Not only desiring, but they don't do any material activities or activities that are based on material desire. And giving up results or attachment to the results is what called tyaga. So there are sometimes questions like, if for spiritual activities you have to give up all the activities that are based on material desire, then how come nowadays we see different sannyasis and different devotees in all different organizations. They travel by plane, they travel by good cars, they use these uh, different tools. Not tools means Zoom. Okay, for example, Zoom is a tool, and they also use different gadgets like phone, iPad, all these things. So how come you say that it's not based on the material design? Okay, so the answer is like uh, this is called Yukta Vairagya, means whatever available in this world, use for service of the Lord. That is the main purpose of devotional service. We use everything in service of the God. So we use our mind, we use our intelligence, we use our body in the service of the Lord. Of course, that is the individual possessions that we can use. But the facilities that are provided by God to us should also be utilized in the service of the God only. So, uh, and also like whatever exists in this world or on this planet is ultimately the energy of the Supreme Lord. Nothing exists without the power or without the will of the Supreme Lord. So that is one firm conviction we have. So if this laptop is there or these smartphones are there, everything is Brahman, right? It's a part of the Brahma Jyoti. So we should apply everything in the service of the Lord. So whatever it is phone or it is mic or speaker, everything we use for service. So when a particular devotee uses a cell phone, for example, for preaching. So actually he's using the phone for preaching activity. So that is a spiritual activity. So that becomes, so use of the phone as an activity becomes spiritual activity. But when the same phone is used for, say, watching a movie, for which movie? The movie that I want to watch, or watching a cricket match for my pleasure. So then that becomes a material activity. So the same energy, but it can be applied in different way. It depends on your intention and your desire. So like Srila Prabhupada used to give a very common example of electricity. So the electricity point or the constant that we have is the same. So you can put a heater into it or you can put air con into it. The electricity as such remains the same. Based on the use, you will say, okay, the electricity is producing hot air or electricity is producing cold air. So electricity itself has not changed. The way we have used it has changed. And then electricity can be used in many different ways. So similarly, Krishna's energy, this world, and the everything that exists in this world is coming from Krishna. How we use it, we are depending on that. Actually, it's decided like it is a spiritual or it is material. So we also have so many facilities. Car, we have money, we have bank balance, we have family, we have house. Everything is there. So how we use it actually defines the uses. Spiritual defines the activity. It's a spiritual or material. So Krishna throughout Bhagavad Gita has always stressed that give up the attachments to results, or don't have desires for material enjoyment. And here also Krishna is similarly telling the importance of the same thing. You should not be attached to any material things. You should not operate or act based on your material desires, because that what's the reason? The reason is that bounds us to the material world. And Krishna wants all the people who are in this world to get free from this cycle of birth and death, to get free from these attachments. That's why he is instructing the same thing repeatedly. So whenever in Shastra, in particular instruction is repeated several times, it is for giving the stress to that point that it is a, this point is a very important point and it should be followed. And that's why the in Shastra, so sometimes the things are mentioned 3 times generally. or maybe several times to give the importance of that, convey the importance of the point. Similarly, Krishna is telling the same thing, like, okay, you have to give up the uh, attachment to the results. So actually this is applicable for our day-to-day life. If we observe in one day how many times we are attached to the results, actually we can understand, it is a point that needs should be improved. But if you don't observe that, you will never notice. So it's always better to observe our activities and observe our intentions. Why I am doing, for what purpose I am doing, and what's my intention in doing the particular activity, or what I want to achieve from that particular activity. This actually gives a clear understanding of our own uh, shortcomings or our own problems. But we have to consciously do this analysis. That is the way of actually improving. So in one class, right, question was like, how I can understand that I am improving in my devotional service or bhakti. So the only way is you compare yourself with the what you are today with what you were to yesterday. So for example, I was doing chanting. Okay, so how I was chanting yesterday, or day before yesterday, and how I chanted today. Did I feel any difference, or did I enjoy the chanting as much as I enjoyed it yesterday, or I enjoyed less, or I enjoyed more? So these actually are the indicators. So we have to compare our progress by comparing to our activity in the past. That is one of the indicators. So for that we have to see, out of that, one is this tyaga, how much I was attached to a particular activity. What is my situation now? Also, my observation is, if you observe our activities over a period of 1 year or 2 years, we can understand that it's not that every day we are doing new activities or activities that are not done yesterday. No, actually we are doing the same activities repeatedly every day. So like every day we take bath, every day we eat, every day we go for walk, every day we work for office, every day we talk on phone, every day we see movies or we see cricket match or we see some sports. Every day we do for shopping. So we are doing the activities every day. And those are repeated activities. Sometimes we do a different activity, maybe go for a long drive. It's not a daily activity, but sometimes we do that activity. So our activities in our life also are repeated activities. And that's going on for, like, what is your age? For that age, it's going on. Tomorrow also it will be the same. We'll do the same activities, less or more, but we do the same activities. So in those, so if we shortlist the major activities, we can analyze what I do this activities. So for example, shopping, I go for shopping to a mall, for example. So what is my intention of going into shop and shopping also? Am I connecting Krishna somewhere in this activity or not? So this we have to observe every day. And then we understand that, oh, okay, in last 2 weeks, only once I remembered Krishna while I was shopping. Other, I was just doing shopping what I wanted to do. Right? So like this, in our activities, practical activities, we have to see our consciousness and our intentions we are doing. And Krishna is saying that tyag or renunciation is giving up this results of our activities. That is what Krishna says is tyag. So that is possible in any varna, any ashram. It's not like that grahastha cannot do that. No, a grahastha can do that. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we saw all are mostly grahasthas, but internally, mentally, they are not attached to anything. So externally looks same, but the intentions are very different. And by that they achieve the perfectional stage of devotional service. So this tyag, or giving up the results of activities, is possible for everyone. We may take, some may take 1 week, some may take 1 month, some may take lifetimes to achieve this. They die and they take birth. Still in the next life also they do the same thing. So like this, continuous ongoing process. But yes, it is possible. And if you can do that, that is what Krishna is saying, tyag. Krishna will give more clarity on these two activities and why these activities should be done in the lifetime. There is no start or end to these activities. So that Krishna will explain from the next verse. So we'll see tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any comments? Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.